Warning, this is Jake's first walkthrough of Katawa Shoujo, and has no idea what to expect. But upon saying that, some content may be inappropriate for kiddies.
Previously on Katawa Shoujo.
Where was I? Oh yes, vast feminine conspiracy. And she's got no legs!
And
Even without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. Polar opposites. Is she eating with her feet? That is top! Like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream but can't remember it? What does that even mean? And you're naked. Happy day. You're right, the difference between us is like heaven and hell. Oh, snap, crackle, and pop! The question of the day. Did Hanako indeed? Was she truly looking for Lily, or did she just come to see me? Emmy whirls around with her eyes widen. You sure? No, I'm just dying. It's okay. Who's that Pokemon?
And
Them eyes! Stop it! You can end wars with those eyes!
our story continues.
Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake on OneManBand is back again playing more Katawa Shoujo, and when we left off, we had lunch with Rin and Emmy on the roof. You guys think it's part of some sort of feminist conspiracy, and now we are back in school on Saturday, because yay for boarding schools, make you go to school all the days of the week. But anyway, enough about my rambling, let's get started. The students roll into the class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. With only one day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until lunch break, and then our time is our own. Oh, so I guess I have kind of like a half day, or maybe it's just because of the festival coming up. Matao lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Last Friday night, ba-na-da-na. How's that song go? I don't know. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page number and question numbers on the board and slumps down in his desk. Do. Nap. Me. That's what he's thinking, I bet. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard amongst the ruffled papers. That can partly be attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune... Oh, heaven forbid they are gone. What is this? It must be the apocalypse. We're all gonna die. They aren't present. Probably doing student council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I bet you could probably hear yourself think. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Okay, can I speak to you for a moment? I didn't do it! Whatever it is! I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Matao approaching my desk. Sure, what's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. I didn't do it, I swear! She asked for it! I'm kidding, okay, I have no idea what's going on. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Matao stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he is trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Oh, is it about that? That's nothing. Ah, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. I think he used here too many times in that sentence, but I don't know. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Mateo closes his eyes in frustration. I realize that it probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you and every other student here can have the same same level of education as their peers. For you, to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels or if it is some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the quote right unquote thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me. I almost went into German accent there. This is all new to me. And I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Matao appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. But how are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. Weren't you too far ahead? We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Matao taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs that information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there that realize the importance of learning. Man, you should try to learn wherever you go. Learn so many things. If you learn something new a day, you'll be a very smart person, like when you're 80. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in the little self-support, in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you've got to keep up with those things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you'll be left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. The next big thing. What is the next big thing? I say already hot Hot Pockets. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Matao's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. No, Kenji isn't like that. He's just unpredictable all the way around. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief at the suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? You stole my line. I use that every single day. You're the boss. Okay. Matao pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped in their desk as they nap. Sounds like me in college. Thankfully, it would appear that Matao doesn't even notice them. He returns to his desks and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. Dwarves? Man, I want the next Hobbit movie to come out, I'm sorry. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Matao and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or a chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. Woo! School's out! Fall! Summer! Not really, but, you know, the clock on the wall ticks the remaining class away until finally the bell cries out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answers of those problems by Monday. Yes, sir, Mr. Matao. The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink. Oh, I'm sorry. As everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations, I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Hanako! You're here! Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least normally harder for her than it is for Hanako. Aw, man. But it's none of my business. I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either. So, an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. You ever get that awkward silence? When it's you and another person in a room? I've probably talked about this 1,000 times when I'm with Hanako, but it's there. I've been in that awkward silence a lot. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sound of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like it's breaking the mood of in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. Poor Hanako. I mean, an attachment like that, it's like, that will make or break a person, honestly. It's sad, really. And that probably isn't even the sad parts of this thing. There's probably much sadder parts coming up, but... They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. What? That's weird. I thought she would have gone with Lily, but... I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye, out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her thought. Her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, it isn't the one she was reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to go through them at this rate. Like a boss. After about 10 minutes of restless shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. She was probably waiting for you to make a move, boy. Hishio, why? Why didn't you make a move? She was there. She was waiting. I could tell. I'm blind to romantic things like that, and I could see it. Stupid Hishio. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there is nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. The school is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. You wouldn't guess the school day is over. Man, there's white people everywhere! What the crap? It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by left and right, hurrying as quick as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. You should get yourself some soup. Or a Hot Pocket. They'll make you feel better. Warm, soft air flows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I do. I'll drop my books off at the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji is in his room. Yeah, we gonna get another Kenji session? That'd be fun. On the way to the dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way running, despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hishio! Ha! Somebody told me in the comments that you're trying to kill me! Oh, I don't know what to believe anymore. Splatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin, respectively. But her smile is wide as it seems it always is. Hi! Damn eyes. Stop it, you're killing me. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she is examining me. What you doing? Building a roller coaster. Nothing really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect! Then you can help me and Rin. Well, you see, I already helped Rin, like, 3 episodes ago or something? 4 something? With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be much help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. Emmy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back into inside the school quite forcefully. Man, with a girl with no legs, she's probably very forceful. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself, simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow Emmy down a bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she finally ran out of breath. Dude, I don't think she runs on oxygen. She runs on something else. We go all the way back to the 3rd floor and to the seniors' hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed up here for Emmy, had I known. So, is Rin working on that mural still? That's right, she needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff. So I went to get them from the art classroom. And you need me to help with that. Well, Rin told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. Once again, people making decisions for me. Classic female stuff. So, thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight ahead to the back of the wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in a most unorganized fashion. Get me in there, I'll get all organized in like 10 minutes. Strawberry melon brisk iced tea. It's so good. It's like my new addiction. Some look like they have been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. I almost said projects. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. They used crayons in high school? That's weird. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Crayons, colored pencils, markers, don't care. It's art. It's still color. The smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. So that's what art smells like. It smells like paint, stale paint, turpentine, and new fresh paper. That's what art smells like. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to markings on the various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She scratches her neck to look. She stretches her neck, not scratches. There's no K. There's no K there, Jake. You're an idiot. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Well, it's because you're so short, silly. You're like, I don't know, short. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Emmy gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. For a moment, of building anger, she starts jumping up and down. That has to hurt, like the stumps. Her leg stump. That must hurt. Because it said she wasn't with her running. She didn't have her running legs on. Or maybe she does, I don't know. Because if she has her running legs on, then it wouldn't hurt, but apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she can see them and catch what she can. To no surprise, she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why me lending a hand here would be useful. It's okay, let the tall man take care of this. Boy, whatever you want to call him. Was he 17? Something like that? Yeah, he's still a boy. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm, like, twice your height. No, you're not. You are not. Oh, I beg to differ. I think I am. She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but can't come up with a retort. With a grudging humph, turns her back to me. So I begin scouring around the top shelf for paint, while below Emmy crouches to salvage what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little, after double-checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. Huh, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's kind of strange that that's the thing that gets to her. Probably some backstory. It's gonna be connected to that. We'll have to keep that in our filing cabinet of knowledge. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on the desk like a treasure hunter spoils, do I realize that it wasn't necessarily the height jab that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can do something, like jump. Oh, yeah, that'd make more sense due to the fact that, you know, no legs. And she wants to be a track athlete, so. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. She is that type of person. At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and make our way back to Rin. Ah, more white people. They're invading, I swear. I chivalrously carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. Rin is really stressed out about getting her painting. Oh, I'm sorry. About getting her painting done. It's her own fault, though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea. It looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I couldn't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, you've noticed that she comes off as kinda unhinged, so to speak. She giggles at that, as well as my likely too observant awkwardness. I don't mind it. She's just a little weird sometimes, just like everybody else. Only she embraces it instead of tries to run away from it. On that, I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with Rin's whatever it is that feels so off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha or Shizune do. With them working as a simple entity sometimes. Single, not simple, single entity sometimes. It's hard to say where one ends and one begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different of them all, different from anyone I've ever met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again, as if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself. But really, it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grasp about the proper descriptive word. She's just weird. Yeah, like I said, like everybody else. Everybody's weird. Embrace your weirdness. It'll help you in life. You know, earlier she just spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes. She giggles again in the way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All that time, the working area is a mess by the mural itself. Has taken over or even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disformed human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, and orange. Weird, imaginary things populating the spaces between, like unicorns? And because stuff, yeah? It looks nice. I can't think of any word that would describe the work. Constantly? I guess that's what the word is? The English language is so frustrating sometimes, I swear. And comprehensively. So I settle myself on a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Man, gotta keep yourself awake. There'd probably be coffee there if they had coffee. Rin herself is at the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozy as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs which support a drying spectrum of war paintings similar to those on Emmy's face. Emmy sprints to Rin ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back! That was fast. Did you run in the corridors again? Hishio helped me. Sup? Emmy points victoriously at me. Because I'm carrying, like, everything. Rin turns around, following Emmy's finger with her eyes, looking at my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. Well, she hasn't. Emmy told us that. A vacant glazed stare that's focused slightly off me and movements like in a slow-motion movie. Hello, Hishio. Thank you for the help. Don't mention it. I just did. Never mind. Looks like you've made progress. Looking good as far as I can tell. But now you get more bad luck. I know, but I'm willing to take the risk. That's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course. Not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance, their favorite TV shows are cancelled, or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. Well, don't be an artist! unless they are blind. She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There is a boy. At the art class, you see, blind boy, so he doesn't see. Yeah, that's what blind kinda entails. He should become an artist. No bad luck, guaranteed. Don't you think that would be a good idea? That only blind people should be artists? No, not as such. ... Hey, Rin, wake up! You might have a point. Abandoning the train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and stares, humming a tune that I think I recognize, but can't remember the name of. Emmy arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene. Emmy, I need the Prussian blue paint. Which one's Persian blue? Or is that Perusian? Perusian blue? Yeah, it'd be Perusian. What's Perusian blue? She is staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue. It's the one with Perusian blue paint in it. Oh, thanks! Perusian blue paint in a Perusian blue paint can. Thank you for your... Jeez, Rin, you're not helping at all. I look around as well, even though I don't know what Perusian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Prussia. So it'd be Perusian, but it's Prussia. To any of you who don't know, Prussia was easternmost Germany. That area back in the day, a long time ago. Just look it up. Look it up. You have the internet, obviously. Or what Prussia even is. I just told them! I told the audience what Prussia is. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. While none of the blues look more Perusian than the others, the small print in the labels is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Perusian. There is no Perusian blue here. We need to get more then. I open my mouth to say that actually we're not both needed for such a simple task, like finding another pot of Perusian blue, but Emmy already grabs my arm and starts dragging me off. I wave to Rin, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. Again, with the white people, okay! Well, she'll notice when she goes for her Perusian blue and finds out that it's still not there. Maybe. ... Probably not, actually. While I'm busy thinking of how weird Rin is, Emmy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. What's the rush? We just did this. I almost died 2 episodes ago. Because I was running too much. Huh? Emmy's giving me a apprehensive look as if she's trying to figure something out. It's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. Comprehension dawns on her face. You're not out of breath, are you? Yes, I am. That's why I said I'm out of breath. There's almost a accusing playfulness in her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but then I realize that I've been breathing heavily since we stopped. Guess it's kind of obvious. A little. Everyone can be in shape, you know. Takes all kinds, right? And he frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. That is, I should get into shape, better shape. Not that I haven't already decided to try that. After that flutter on the track, I figured that there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually, I wasn't, but it was fun. Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emmy come to some sort of decision. Well, it's fine. That's fine then. She gives me a serious look. You're joining me. No! I don't want to! Whatever it is! What am I joining? And with that, I think I'm gonna end this episode here, because I think I've been going for quite a while, so like and favor if you've enjoyed, subscribe of course, and I guess I'll see you guys next time I'm out there in YouTube land. I'll see you then. Yeah.
Bullseye.